we fixed the sound and the video.
Yep, got a synchronization now, so it looks odd to us sitting right here because we're behind by like a second on our live video up on our screen, but for you guys, it all should be now lip synced up, so it should be as close as what it would be like on regular TV or whatever. So hopefully that helps out and we don't look like a bad Chinese film. I do have a small little tick in the background. It's due to my plug that I made to make this all work, but we'll get that all squared away. So we're just going to give this a try and see how it sounds, see what you guys think of it. So, all right.
So the forecast models here recently are failing miserably. We're 35 degrees outside right now. It's all rain. So, you know, I think that depending on how the models are working right now, will depend a lot upon what we got coming up on this next system here. But they obviously have not been doing very well with this cutoff low that's been kind of spinning around. So that's something we got taking into consideration. You know, so we'll continue to fine-tune that, obviously, in days to come here. We even had some computer models that were spitting out as much as 2 to 4 inches here by Friday, and obviously that hasn't been the case. So, anyways, let's see here. Question about severe weather season this year. There's no way to really answer that. We get a long-range question like this almost every time, and I mean, winter finished up with below normal snowfall and almost warmer than pretty much warmer than normal temperatures for the meteorological winter here out of Indianapolis. The prediction was below normal temperatures and above normal precip, so the prediction failed miserably from the Climate Prediction Center or the National Weather Service. So, you know, there's no way to predict long-range forecasting. It's just not. Possible. I mean, I can guess, but you know, again, there's no way to really answer that.
Let's see here. Go back here. Basically, guys, you know, tonight's kind of a slow night. We're just kind of we wanted to do at least the Q&A because we mentioned something about it, and we just wanted to get something going, get some you know, some talk going here, answer some questions, what you guys might have about the weather, any questions about our website, any questions about the advertising type stuff. We won't talk prices on here, but you can email us and we can talk about that privately. But if you have questions on like what we have in mind of, you know, and everything, basically right now we just have one package, but we got some ideas in mind, so we will kind of want to bounce that off some people if there's any of you guys in here.
Real quick, I know we've been talking about a weather system here on coming up on Tuesday, Wednesday, and someone just asked about that. Just looking at the 18Z GFS, you know, it's got a decent clipper coming down, really fades out as it gets to central Indiana and tracks southwest of us off this latest model run. Puts down a pretty good amount of snow here between Iowa and Illinois, but it just doesn't look all that impressive for Indiana. The latest run of the GFS has us warming up rather quickly. As we get into next Friday, temperatures could be in the 60s, and that's kind of been a consensus here for the last few runs now of data. So I really think this Tuesday into Wednesday may be our last real measurable, our last chance at any real measurable snow. You know, getting a snowstorm or a measurable snow next Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be hard enough, and beyond that, guys, I just don't see any real chances of snow. I think we get into our warmer, colder spells here, or warm, cold shots, you know, and we start getting into thunderstorm season. So, can you explain what you mean by the model I prefer the best? Would be the European model by far. It hasn't done too great the last week, but nothing really has done that great this last week with the systems and you know, the pattern and what's going on and everything. So stand by here. We just gotta. Oh, he's talking about the Tuesday, Wednesday storm. He's got one coming out. We just got a tweet here from Brian Wilkes, and really the only track. What is that? That green.
It's the Euro, isn't it? It's might be up here. Yeah, the green's the Euro.
You see him?
Black is the gem.
This navy is a gem.
Okay. I don't know why he put that on there.
So, I mean, really, guys, a lot of these tracks here, perhaps some snow with this system next Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, it's far out. The chance is there, but you know, we'll continue to monitor that. Are there any good weather programs out there that I can use to get good weather models that I don't break the bank? Depends on how much you want to spend.
What's that one?
Rally WX.
Here you go. I'm going to post a link right now in the chat, if you're in the chat room.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Raleigh WX, that's free right now. We've actually talked to this guy. He's probably going to start charging for it. Help pay for a server and his time and everything. But the cost that he was talking is going to be cheap.
Yeah.
He has basically everything on there too. So.
We do chase. It depends on the setup and the how good the setup looks.
No slight risk.
We don't chase slight risks out of the state of Indiana. We chase them here, but there have been days where there have been tornadoes on slight risk weather days, but you know, it's the cost that costs to get out there and everything. It's
taking off time from work.
Yeah, it's just not, for us, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it to us. So
right now.
Yeah, so you know, if there's thunderstorms in Indiana, we're on them. It doesn't matter where they're at. We're on them here. But you know, as far as going out of state, you know, if there's a pretty substantial risk for severe weather, we'll be there most of the time. So yeah, we got some warm days coming. You know, we just talked about next week. By next Thursday and Friday, we could be into the 50s, perhaps 60s by next week. So if you're watching the local weather stations, the local TVs, all that, you're not going to see that type of forecast there. At best, you'll see 45 to 50 maybe. You're not going to see 60-degree forecast 7 days out right now because you're just not. So just keep that in mind. It will get warm next week, and eventually they'll start. The computers will start catching on to that. You know, by midweek. So let's see here.
Why does he care? Why does he care about that thing?
The Gemma. Ryan Wilkes is tweeting us the latest models for this storm track next week, and we're just chatting with him. When is that for? John Dishour says, when is that for?
Yeah. Tuesday? Thursday? Okay, anyways. Funny stuff. Guys, we need questions. As my dog decides to throw up over there. So, guys, if you're watching the video and you're in the chat room, if you don't mind, so we don't have Anon and then a random number, jump in down the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see a set name button, a little gray button. Hit the set name, hit temporary name, and just type something in there and hit set. If you could for us. Yes, it is a button. It's one of those days, guys. You do a job like I have to do with dealing with fire marshals and stuff like that. Yeah.
Let's see here. You ever thought about starting an app iPhone?
Yeah, we right now, you know, guys, the website is mobile friendly. It has the ability to do mobile friendly. Does everything that we need it to do. We really don't have a use for really don't have a use for really an app as far as what we can see. I mean, we've been talking about it, and man, I've made up a small Android app, but for what we're doing, it just doesn't. It's actually somewhat pointless with the way that our website's set up. iPhone and iPad app. None of us have any type of Apple products, so we can't even write them. We paid the $100 for Apple to get the developer pack, but it would, yeah, it's, I don't know. I just don't think it's worth it right now. I mean, there's nothing we can add using an app of some sort. So, yeah. I mean, the website does everything we need it to do, and it's mobile friendly. If you have a problem, anything with the website, anything like that, let me know. Shoot me an email. Put a message on our thing. Message us on our Facebook page, and you know, I'll get back to you because I need to know. Obviously, I have, you know, these computers back here, but they're all running Windows 7, Windows XP. I only use Google Chrome, but I also test in IE 8, and I don't test in IE 9 really. But I do run it through a online tester, and it has passed all that, but I still see problems with some websites. So, anyways, any questions like that, feel free to ask. So, again, it's slow night, so.
They shouldn't have a hard time finding it because it goes right to our Facebook and our Twitter, and all they have to do is click on that link. I mean,
or send them that link. The link is I'll put it in the chat room. This is what it will be, and actually, if they try to use that link for any other time than this, then it'll block them. So this is actually the premium stream page, but it will block them, so they won't be able to get to it if they're not a premium subscriber. We open it up just for this, so you know, feel free to give that link out to all your friends during these Q&As. Yeah, I would support the local breweries, but I don't have any of that beer, so.
Typically he does, but
I'm on a diet right now, and I can only have one of these right now because it's 120 calories, and yeah.
Calorie counting.
I'm trying to be like Mikey, lose the gut, and then I'm going to get muscles, I hope.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You know.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to get some people's take, because over the last week or two, there have been a couple of meteorologists and even weather enthusiasts who continue to preach winter, 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 cold, 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 snow is coming, winter is coming, it's still coming, blah, 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 blah. And winter ends in 3 hours. So unless we get 7 inches of snow, we're not going to finish off February above normal, or this winter. 51 days this winter were above normal, temperature-wise, and only 32 were below normal. So my question is when you hear people who continue to preach this stuff, do you continue to listen to them, or do you decide, okay, I can't really listen to this person anymore because he's been saying this all winter long, and I don't want to hear him say it anymore. So I'm trying to figure out, basically what your all's take on someone who constantly preaches cold and snow, who no matter what, they don't ever admit defeat. They just keep going and going and going. And I'm just trying to get some of your all's take on that. So I want to see what your opinions are.
How did my tweet go before your tweet? That was 1 minute ago. We tweeted something at the same time. What is wrong with it? What's wrong with this? Anyways. Questions.
Now see, here's the thing. There's a difference between hype and there's a difference between forecasting, okay? It's very possible to predict weather beyond 5 days. We've done it several times. If there's something on the charts and there's a big storm that deserves talking about, then you need to talk about it because, oftentimes they do verify, but it's a fine line between hype and forecasting a storm. So I see what you're saying, but everyone says something different. I guess you can make your own guess if you want to. I would rather know exactly what's going on. I guess you could guess if you wanted to. That's the point of meteorology and weather is trying to predict the weather, and trying to sharpen our skills, a lot of the times,
How do we comment on that one?
just tell it like it is. This last week, every major computer model that's available to anybody was predicting snow. It didn't matter what model it is that you looked at, snow. 2, 3, 4 inches. Has that happened anywhere in Indiana? No, it hasn't. Maybe an inch in some spots. I was all over the city today and I didn't see any accumulation anywhere. It was all gone by 7 or 8 in the morning. So there are times where everyone's going to get it wrong. It's just not possible to predict 100% all the time because we're not there yet. We don't have the technology in order to do that yet. I don't care what anybody says. You just don't. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind is we're still not there yet to be able to predict everything accurately all the time. Especially when all your guidance is suggesting snow, and right now we're 35 degrees, and it's misting and raining outside. So it's just one of those things. When you're wrong, and you move on, and you try not to be wrong again. Make it a learning experience. We like to think we're the most accurate. We pride ourselves in our ability to do it. But again, there's times where if we're wrong, we're going to tell you about it. It's all about being modest. again, with this last system, we put out a snow map for the entire week of 2 to 4 inches, and that obviously did not verify. So, at times like these, where we're in transitional phases, where we're going from winter to spring, and the computer models just don't perform as well. They don't. That's just part of it. So. It's interesting because a lot of people are quick to say, well, hey, the only job you can do is be a weatherman, and, then you can be wrong half the time and still get paid. Well, sure, I guess, but a lot of people that are the weather guys, they take passion, they take a lot of pride in their job, and, hearing stuff like that's kind of frustrating, so.
And especially us, again, we work full-time jobs. This is not the only job that we do. We try to tell everybody that. Obviously, we've got a lot of new followers and everything, so there's a lot of you guys that might not know that, but we all do work full-time jobs, and we do this, and we try to give you guys the best product that we can. And when we decided that we were going to do the premium service, we knew that it was going to take a lot more time to provide you with what we felt was an adequate amount of data and forecasting and things like that. So, to be completely honest with you guys, when that premium, not even just the premium, but any forecast that comes out on our page, our Facebook, our Twitter, our website, whatever, it takes this guy back here, it takes him 3 hours to go from start to finish just to make that forecast. That doesn't include the amount of time that he's looking at the computer models throughout the day. I don't know if he really wants to say anything like that on here, but he got in trouble at work because he was on his phone so much.
Yeah.
Looking
at all the data all the time.
I tried to lean away from it with my job. The last couple of weeks, I've just been trying to focus on my job. I got a lot of things, I got a lot of projects going on, so I've been trying to step back a little bit, but still trying to answer, emails and do everything after hours and stuff. And it's just been real busy. Unfortunately, but one good thing is we haven't had a lot of weather, so getting prepared for springtime is the big thing. You guys are definitely going to enjoy what we got for that whenever we do get our first storms, and anyways.
We're not. Someone asked about weather alerts. We're not going to do weather alerts, guys. We're not going to offer any type of warning or watch system. We just don't have
There's
too much liability in it, and it's
there's too many other apps and stuff out there for your phones and stuff. But our last week's Q&A, we discussed this deeply. Again, weather radios is probably the best way to get your warnings and everything. Second from there would be obviously your cell phone or whatever. Warning sirens is never number one or number two in our book. But yeah, definitely I would check out any of the other apps, like I'm trying to think of one. What's one of the apps that works pretty decently? I don't even have it on my phone.
WeatherBug Pro or
WeatherBug for your phone seems to work pretty good, or whatever. I don't use any of them, so I don't have any idea. And that's Mikey's old laptop, and he hates it.
I literally have had this thing on charge for 5,000 years, and I just unplugged it for 10 minutes, and it's dead. I can't stand it. But a lot of you are, so if you have questions, Brian will read them over off. Give me
let's see here.
A lot of you are asking how we forecast and print charts.
What do you guys do for full-time job?
We print them off, thickness calculations, and we look at surface fronts, and we, obviously a big part of forecasting is looking how the model initializes starts off well. I look a lot of at times at the teleconnections, different PNA, AO, NAO.
Oh.
Look at a lot of different phases and stuff, you know, trying to figure out longer range patterns. But it's really just rolling up your sleeves and doing the actual forecasting and trying to decipher the model data, you know, and applying some common sense to the whole thing. So.
Man. Bix, I get what you're saying now. I had to actually read the whole thing.
What was he
My
saying?
bad. You're the guy that has the weather alert website. Aha. Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
We have got, like I said, the last month or so has been just absolutely busy, crazy. So
10, 15 new emails a day.
yeah,
And
I mean,
people want it all.
10, 15 new emails talking about different things. We got that new, you know, believe it or not, just dealing with like getting our new logo put on the truck. I mean, it's just been like pulling teeth. Hopefully that's going to happen tomorrow, actually, by the way. So, but yeah. So sorry about that. Yeah, I'll get back to you. I'll go search for that email if you don't mind. You can shoot us another one, and that way it pops back up to the top, and I'll check that out.
Do you know of any good books or websites that you would recommend to feature storm and weather photography?
I don't read books.
Any good what?
Any good books or websites that would recommend to feature storm and weather photography? I mean, nowadays, anything that you get on.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I mean,
we don't really.
I mean, the big thing is to just go out to the. You know, I guess on the photography question there, SKL48, you know, I mean, Google it, Google Images,
Yeah.
anything that you want. I mean, I don't really know.
I like to forecast the most. Chris Wright on snow, so I always feel that he's predicting cold snow.
Yeah, that's kind of true. You know, what they like the most is usually what they're going to forecast. So, yeah, that I do agree with you on that. B-Man, hire an intern. Yeah, if we
Eventually.
brought enough money in and we could support ourselves, then we could obviously do this, and then we wouldn't have to worry about an intern. But you know, if that gets even bigger, then obviously we would need an intern. But right now, yeah, it's just kind of hanging out here. So, all right. So,
Well, I'm talking about who I could get front one to.
oh, sorry. Gotcha.
What's the question?
Okay, I'm totally way confused. Gotcha. Sorry, Bix. You're talking about from last week. Okay.
Oh, he's talking about the tornado sirens?
Yeah, he's talking about the tornado sirens. He's the one that did we get an email from him? I don't remember. Again, we got a ton of emails, so we might have missed it. All three of us get the emails on our phones, and sometimes my wife will check her phone and then not let us know that she has a message. My wife, we have a message. Will check her phone and then not let us know. Anyways, just my wife, Deanna, will check her phone and then not let us know. Anyways, just my wife, Deanna, will Beth check her phone and then not let us know. Good question. My wife, Deanna, will really, Indiana. Good question. My wife, basically about the same. Really, Indiana. Good question. My wife, basically about the same. Really, Indiana. Good question. My wife, basically about the same. Really, area. Good question. I'll try to find a. I know there's one place. Really, area. That's a good question. I'll try to find a. I know there's one place. Really, area. That's a good question. I'll try to find a. I know there's one place. Really, area. That's a good question. I'll try to find a.
want that? Try it now.
Oh my God. Michael's screwing with it up here. He started using the computer because his laptop died, and then he...
Already have. Turn it off. Sorry.
He was playing. It was feedback back in there. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, now I can get back to... Oh, man. Again, iPhone app, Android app, so on and so forth. Right now, I just don't see the benefit for it. Website is mobile friendly. I know on the Androids you can make a shortcut right on your home screen. You can go in there, make a bookmark for it, stick it around your home screen. I've done it, so makes it really nice. It also allows you to log in to your premium account on there, so on and so forth. And again, if you have any issues with the website, shoot us a message. I'll get back to you, and I'll try to figure it out. So,
listen, we're crazy. I don't think you understand that.
Radar scope, I love that. How's Windows 8 treating you, Mikey?
Who asked me that?
Oh, B-Man.
I love Windows 8.
Nah. He's lying.
Who said that?
B-Man, right? It's up here.
I love my Windows 8.
Yeah, Windows 8 sucks.
I've been doing some
I don't have a website.
research on that, and there's a new Windows phone coming out from Verizon. I'm going to sync them up. It's going to be beautiful.
He's retarded because nobody's going to be able to help him whenever he has a problem.
Okay, I'll just call tech support.
I'm just going to go, I don't know.
I haven't had any problems.
Okay, what got you guys in the weather, and did you go to school? Michael's in school right now at Mississippi State University. I'm scrolled way up. I mean, that's how many questions we've gotten.
Good Lord.
Okay, so I've always been in the weather for a long time, so yeah, it's been a long time. So
I've probably been following the weather for... I had a weather station in my closet from 3rd grade on. I mean, I remember the first book I got on weather was in 3rd grade for Christmas. You know, cloud types, just basic stuff, and then just been from there on. I've visited Brian Wilkes when I was in the 6th grade at the Fox weather station. And then I interned with him for a year. And then I was helping train his interns. You know, so I've always been doing the weather, so I love it.
Do you guys remember the 1996 tornado? I was not in Indiana, so I have no idea.
1996 tornado in Greenwood. Was that that was the night when the skies were extremely green. There was a lot of lightning strikes, a lot of lightning. I was in 5th grade in 1996. I remember that night vaguely. I mean, I'm not really old enough to go back in time that far, but I remember that night vaguely. I remember the green skies, that's for sure.
Potential HP sponsorship to get rid of the battery issues. Use Lenovo's. That thing's the old Gateway that he had. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, I paid $900 for that thing.
Years ago.
A few years ago. And a guy I bought it from at Best Buy was like, "Oh, this is the best we have. This thing is top notch," and it's terrible.
Would you recommend any books for basic knowledge of weather? Books, not really. Big thing is look online. I mean, there's a lot of stuff online that's better and more up to date. Big thing with books is books fall behind really quickly. They can't be published fast enough with all the new technology coming out. So
yeah, there's always even my weather books. I mean, you have the 9th edition, the 10th edition, the 11th edition. I mean, they're always updating the editions. You're spending hundreds of dollars. Honestly, you can Google weather information. Anything you want to know, just Google it. Most of the time, you will find information on it. If you go to theweatherprediction.com, that's meteorologist Jeff Habe. He teaches a lot of courses at Mississippi State, and he also runs a website for all educational purposes. So,
Mr. Tapper, yeah, we're way behind on this chat here. It's like crazy. You guys are sending so many messages. I'm getting way behind. Mr. Tapper, looking for a mid-range priced weather station. I guess when you're talking mid-range, like $300, $300-400, because I mean high end's like a couple grand, and we actually use the Davis ISS. It's the Davis Integrated Sensor System. Yeah, Integrated System System, and it's the one that's on top of our truck. Go look it up. It's all-in-one. My dad has one on his house. It's all-in-one. You get the anemometer, the rain gauge, and the thermal hygrometer all built into the whole thing. It's wireless. You get the Davis back end, and it's got really good refresh rates. So definitely look at that. And you hear a bunch of stuff. Sorry you have an E6400. That's horrible. That was my old work laptop, and I got rid of it because it was a piece of junk. Call Apple Tech Support. We're the best for Apple products. You can keep your Apple products. Not a big Apple fan. One of these days I will wear my Android shirt again on a Q&A, and you'll see what I think about that.
Someone said the pattern. So you're talking about the pattern from 2011, spring 2011. That was a La Nina year. Patterns often do repeat themselves, but again, you know, you can put theories and try and predict things into the future, but there's just no way to really accurately do it. There's been so many people with so much experience that still can't do it. If you're a premium subscriber, I go out 10 to 14 days, and 14 days is pushing it for me. You know, I'm just not a huge fan on long range. I've seen it fail way too many times. You know, the way I look at it is this past week, if we can't get a snowfall forecast right for out to 72 hours, predicting seasons is just not in the cards right now, in my opinion. I don't think it's a business to be in, because eventually you keep preaching and predicting seasons, and it doesn't verify, and people just quit listening to you. There's a few people on Twitter who just constantly preach. Cold is still coming, snow is coming, it's crap. I mean, it's just crap. There's no way to know it, guys. I mean, you know, we're looking to get 60 degrees next Friday. 3 days ago, everybody was talking about the big, massive Greenland block, NAO block coming in, and now we're talking about temperatures warming. So, and that's what I'm talking about, guys. Is you just asked about spring. I don't predict the seasons. I really don't. I know I don't do it. You know, I just I don't agree with it. So
14 days plus and bust.
Yep. Exactly right.
Let's see here. All right. Hey, we caught up on all the questions. Sorry, I had to go turn on the stove. I'm starving. Amanda's going to be leaving work here shortly, and we don't have dinner ready.
The P&A is, I'll need to look at that, because the last time I looked at the P&A, which was yesterday, that favorite link isn't on here for some reason. Last time I looked at the P&A, it was beginning to trend neutral. And I'm looking here at the latest data from this morning, and the P&A is it's positive right now. It's beginning to tank towards neutral, and by the 8th and 9th of the month it goes negative, and that's a consensus between all computer models, GFS ensembles, European ensembles, and the GFS operational models, and the European operational models, all indicating that we go neutral to negative P&A by the 8th of March. So the AAO begins to go positive by the 12th of March. The NAO begins to go positive also by that time. Guys, the last chance of any type of accumulating snow really is coming Tuesday, Wednesday, and after that, I don't see anything too impressive. So, and one thing you have to think about ANON 5974 is, it's positive right now, sure, but look at the NAO as it's coming into this pattern. Okay, it's strongly negative. All right, the PNA is strongly positive, and the AO is strongly negative. So you need a storm to come into this pattern as these things are already set up, if that makes sense. A lot of times a big positive PNA, it will redirect storm traffic over the central portion of the U.S., but it will also can get cut off to any Gulf moisture feed for the central U.S. until it gets to the eastern portion of the country. And like I said, right now I just don't see many big accumulating snow chances. The last chance, like I said, is coming Tuesday into Wednesday.
Uh, 18Z, 12Z, 0Z, yes, those are UTC time. It's basically our GMT time, Greenwich Mean Time. So it's 0. So right now, it's 21:17 here. It's 02:17 UTC time. So basically, when you see like Eastern Standard Time is -5. If you, big thing with daylight savings time is it switches. You're either -4 or -5, depending on what time of year it obviously is. But right now we're -5, so take UTC time and subtract 5, and that's the time it is for here.
I can't really explain the thicknesses, guys. I would need a long class to tell you what thicknesses actually mean. I mean, in a nutshell, you can determine temperatures off of thicknesses. It's how thick your air mass is, from 1,000 millibars to 5,000 millibars. Basically, from the surface up to 20,000 feet, you're trying to determine your air mass. It's a really difficult thing. There's a lot of math, a lot of physics involved in talking about thicknesses. So you can Google it and read up about them, but really it'd be really tough for me to explain them to you. It'd take quite a while. I sent you the link for the PNA, AO, NAO charts there, the Rally WX 12Z line graphs. That's the latest data right there. You can always click on that and then refresh that.
Hey Bix, I just replied back to you. Yeah, we'll refer to him as BG. Yeah, no more of him. And Michael's typing out a message here to everybody in the chat room. Take some last minute questions and get off here.
Someone just asked about Tuesday, Wednesday. You think it'd be a snowmaker again?
Yeah.
it's too early to determine exactly where it's going to fall. If I had to guess, this system will be our last chance at accumulating snow. There's a chance we could get some accumulating snow, but again, we will fine-tune that in the days to come. It's still too soon to really fine-tune and get in on the specifics of that system. The latest European model had the accumulating snow staying south and west of us. So we'll monitor that. We'll continue to take a look at that here in the days to come. Yeah, maybe back in the day there, Fields, but I'll tell you anymore, man, it's hard to come by snow here. It really is. I think that needs to be you need to get used to that. That's the new normal. It really is. See any 70 degrees? No, I said I think next Friday we could get up near 60 degrees, maybe a little bit warmer. Depends on how things pan out, but it's got some warmer weather coming, definitely.
Who's gonna finish?
IU. Who else is going to win?
Go Red Wings. Oh wait, we're talking about college basketball. I already responded.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I already responded. Hey, Fresh.
Guys, again, we do not predict the seasons. Long range forecasting, we don't do it. So I know you all want to know what it's going to be, but we are not in that business. So
and it's going to rain one day. It's going to storm one day.
It's going to be sunny. It's going to be cloudy.
I mean,
that's it. It's as good as it gets.
So that's your
Guinness, leave her alone.
Can't get the friggin' dog to leave the cat alone long enough for us to talk the last few minutes here. Let's see here. All right. So I guess a couple of little blurbs that I just want to say is questions after this Q&A. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter. Shoot us an email. Use the contact us link on our website, and be sure they'll hit up our sponsors on there. There's a sponsors tab. We don't say enough for those guys. Talked to one of our sponsors today, and he's been getting a pretty good response from some of our followers and stuff this past winter, and he appreciates it quite a bit. They've done a lot for us to help get us off the ground, so be sure to check them out. Just see the logos kind of going in the background. Catch their links for their websites, their contact information by going to the sponsors tab on the website. Got a few advertisers on there. Actually, one of them will be going away for a little while, the Snowcaster. Sorry to see you go, but we'll see you back next winter. Thanks for everybody for hitting him up with his really cool looking tool, snow removal tool. So yeah, but you guys see some new advertisers popping up on our website on the top banner and stuff. We got a few in the works, a few pretty cool services and products. So get that.
Last question here. Do you guys think the atmosphere has changed any? No, I don't. It's just a cycle. It's just a phase that. The planet's over 4 billion years old, and we've only been keeping data for 140 years. So there's no way to know what's going to happen with these big seasons coming up. I mean, two winters ago we were snowed up to our freaking ankles, up to our knees and waist. I mean, we had snow all the time. So yeah, I mean the snow will be back. Yeah, I agree. My thoughts of Reed Timmer,
Good storm chaser.
I think he's a great. I mean, the guy's very knowledgeable. He's probably intercepted more tornadoes than anybody out that has ever chased tornadoes. Predicting them and forecasting severe weather is probably the best in the business. Obviously, he throws in the drama and the twists to make money. He's a businessman. That's what he's doing. He's making money off of it. So I have nothing bad to say about Reed Timmer. A lot of people don't like him. I like him. I like his style. I think he's a nut wild freak. I think
You guys just wait, all right? You just wait till you guys now can see what we actually do in the vehicle.
Get. I mean, we
All
get
right?
the way that we get that way. I mean,
it gets pretty. You know, let's get out there and get crazy and stuff. But
yeah.
you know, in the vehicle we're hooping and hollering and yelling and telling each other shut up and everything.
Yep.
It might be good thing we don't have to deal with censorship on this.
Yeah.
thing, so.
If you're paying for our premium stream, you're going to get raw, uncut footage. So, whatever.
That's what you're paying for. So, the big thing is he hypes up what he does because that's how he makes the money. Because people like to see that type of stuff. But my personal opinion is not towards Reed, but it's towards the direction of the show that it went, that he was on, the Storm Chaser show on Discovery Channel. It went in the wrong direction. It looked bad because they used his footage to make the drama happen. So, but
science
if you
lost.
go to his new website and watch what they do, it's now towards the science, and it's still got the drama aspect, but it's not just drama. So I watched his live podcast tonight before this started, so it was really kind of cool. So they actually have a pretty similar setup to what we have here, and the funny thing is we started ours first. So
If you're watching, Reed.
Yeah.
Let's see it.
All right, so last minute question. Talk about any questions, hit us up on our Facebook afterwards. Any problems with the website, let us know. Any questions about what we're providing on our premium service. If you're not signed up yet, sign up. There's a coupon good all the way through the month of March. Check that out. Spring Fever 2013, all capital letters. Enter that in. Get 10% off. Check out our sponsors. Check out our advertisers. So, yeah, if there's not anything else, we'll catch you next week, and be sure to check out bamchase.net for the latest. So,
also, one other quick thing too is next week or maybe the week after, one of these shows we'll be doing a show out of the Fox Weather office with Brian Wilkes. He'll be on the show with us, and he'll take questions and stuff.
we'll be going mobile.
Yeah, and maybe we can get we'll get a couple of guys there from the news station up on the show, and you guys can ask questions that way too. So we'll promote that and advertise it, and other than that,